Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, where we are continuing on in the second case of the game, and gosh, I hope we finish it today. The Imprisoned Turnabout. It's a longer case than I remembered it to be, but I don't know, who knows. I'm just taking longer than I should, maybe, I don't know. Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you have failed to come up with a new Oh. That was funny. I am not amused, interrupting my judgment only to be silent. Without thinking, I just blurted out objection. Well, he did do the same in, which case was that? I think it was the one in the second game, in Justice for All, when he was trying to help Phoenix, and then he did the same thing, and the judge was like, "What the heck? Don't you have anything to say?" And he's like, no, never mind." Oh, Edgeworth. Never change, buddy. I have to answer. I won't let this end here. My reasoning is not over yet. Time to do some good old bluffing. So, how did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center? It's perfectly possible with this method. What made it possible to turn off the breaker? Her position as the warden, well, technically yes. But I think what we're gonna go with here, I believe Ray might have said it last time, was that she couldn't, or they were saying that she couldn't have done this alone. So she had an accomplice. It was indeed impossible for one person, but what if there were two? Exactly, just what I expected from you, Miles. Yes, you had an accomplice on the prison side. Enough. I am disappointed in you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What's that, pal? You making fun of Mr. Edgeworth?
The inmates at this prison all wear bracelets. Ah, but we know one who has a certain something going on with his bracelet, don't we? Ah, of course, that slimy jerk would be behind this yet again. There's no such thing as him being reformed. If they try and go where they please, they will set off the alarm. Ah! So you've noticed. This is a prison, after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards, too, are under constant scrutiny. So why didn't anyone notice Elbird? Uh-huh. The only ones allowed to move around freely are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker. But it's still possible that a person did it. Excluding the inmates and the guards, just what kind of person would you say it was? A slimy sleazeball. We can't exclude the inmates and guards just yet. There was only one person, one whose movement was not restricted. This evidence shows that there was someone in the prison who could move around freely. Yeah, call him out. That is, it looks like the bracelet worn by the prisoners. This belongs to a certain, quotation marks, model inmate. And it's broken. What? Just who on earth does this belong to? Frank Sawit, the warden's favorite inmate. Ah, there we go. Her little animal's licking the sweat off her. Ew. Although, to be realistic, I do know that, like, our dogs and our pets are attracted to our sweat because they're like, ooh, salt. Oh boy. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life. Golly, when you think about it, it shouldn't be possible. Uh-huh. I'd hazard a guess that this was because he was a special case. Just like Sirhan Dogan in the special cell. The prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture. You could find out by simply asking Sawit himself. It is my firm belief that Mr. Sawit and Warden Rowland were partners in crime. Due to their collaboration, another route surfaces. The real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in front of Knightley's cell, and the electric fence in the courtyard. Both these problems could have been solved with a single stroke, by having Sawit switch off the breakers in the breaker room. Ah, hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait one moment? Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Rowland? Ah, I give in. I confess.
Oh, yeah, right.
Warden Rowland? No, this cannot be. Yes, it's just as he says. Frank Sawit and I were partners in crime. No way!
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well done, Miles. At last, we have the real culprit cornered. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frankie operated the breaker. But we were not responsible for Knightley's murder. What?
Yeah, I knew she wouldn't go down that easily.
Warden Rowland, whatever do you mean? Judge Courtney, the goddess of law, hear my confession. The goddess of law is merciful. She will absolve you. I was being threatened. That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told.
Oh, sob story time.
So, who was threatening you?
Sirhan Dogan, that assassin. Dogan? It's been going on since that man came to the prison. I will never forget that day.
Oh, that looks creepy.
When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me, I have many dogs outside the prison. Dogs? Loyal dogs who obey my every command. I soon realized that what Dogan referred to were not really dogs, but his human henchmen. And that's not all he said. You'd better watch how you treat me.
That's why he has the ability to be the supplier, because it looks like she is allowing him special privileges.
If you don't want you and your family to become dog food.
Yikes.
I had no choice. I gave him the special cell. I gave him anything he desired. Anything he desired? You don't mean the supplier? That's right. Anything he ordered, I would deliver to him. An underground dealership. I was the one who won over Frankie. It was simple. I just offered him special privileges within the prison. And these underground dealings? Once a week in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off 2 of the breakers, so I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security camera. I would go past the fence and drop the goods down the well near the prison.
Oh. And then the dog would always go to get whatever fell down the well. Holy crap. So this time she happened to throw the body down? Even though she's saying, no, I didn't. I mean, come on.
Oh, so that's why it smells. Ah, I see.
And then I'd sprinkle this perfume over it. So that's the true identity of the sweet scent. The scent of perfume was a signal for Dogen's dog.
I mean, you're pretty much telling us that that's how you did it with the body. You just had the dog bring the body, you know?
After picking up the scent, it would carry the goods to Dogen. Of course, this had to be done while Elbert was away from his cell.
So you frickin' knew that Elbert had dug that tunnel, that hole, and you were just utilizing it for your own benefit. Wow. I'm surprised he never found out about it, pal.
We have a strict timetable here at the prison. Meal time, exercise time. It's easy to know when he's away from his cell.
Wow.
And since little Rocky is afraid of Dogen's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise.
Wow.
So, having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries herself. This would have ensured there were no slip-ups. Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning, and the delivery was complete. I then modified the timestamp on the security camera. You have told us a great deal. The goddess of law accepts your penitent confession. As the warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also a delivery day. It seems Frankie was working the breakers as usual. But that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all.
Hmm.
The secret of the supply system. So then Warden Roland was... The police have been searching for Dogen's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but... I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... No matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him. So the reason you kept on interrogating him... Yes, it was to find his henchmen.
Oh, that's a new look for her. And her little fox creature's like, "Arr!" It's cute. I can't tell if it's a fox or like a ferret. I don't know. It's really cute though.
I borrowed all the evidence from the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on all his actions and examined all of his mail. Mail, like his correspondence chest letters.
Ah.
But I could never uncover the true identity of his henchmen. This fear, it's something you could never understand.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, you were listening, right? I'd say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion.
No, it doesn't. Come on, who else knew about the whole system that they had? And for her, of course, if the body had the sweet scent, that means that she sprayed the body and sent it down there for the dog to take. It's very obvious. And now that they just mentioned the whole correspondence chest mail and all of that,
Is it really necessary to press her further than this?
Is it necessary to press her further?
Of course.
Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either.
You mean to badger this woman further?
Even if she was threatened by Dogen, this does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body.
Exactly.
Do you have any evidence to support this?
The body gave off a sweet scent, the scent of perfume that was used to signify a delivery. Can you explain this fact? Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent would have lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it.
I knew she was going to use that.
Mr. Albert also testified to this fact.
That's it. For some reason, that whale gave off a nice scent.
But did his body have the smell? Because he did go through the well. And so did Kay and Gumshoe, right? Did they come out with that smell on them?
A nice scent. I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet like candy.
The lingering scent in the well would of course be picked up by anything passing through.
Yeah.
The defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned.
Oh, come on. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do?
What should I do? Is this as far as I can go? Is it over already?
Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned.
No! Hold it. Is it Ray?
Who was that?
Yeah!
It's not nice of you to adjourn things just like that, Courtney Pie. I'm the real defense attorney here, and we don't believe in giving up.
I bet you he's gonna say something like that.
Mr. Shields.
Are you objecting to the court adjourning?
Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like.
Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields?
Whoa there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate?
Is this a joke?
You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. As Simon Keyes' attorney.
That's right, you're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you?
Exactly. Did you all forget? That's so mean.
But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all.
Yes, that's right. That's why. I thought I'd do my job a bit.
Yeah.
Do your job? That hardly sounds like you at all.
Ooh, burn. It's to prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions.
Surely you jest. What more would you expect to hear from her?
Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit.
My thoughts?
Oh, sorry. My thoughts. Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out.
I mean, come on. How could she resist the urge to try to pin it on Dogen, right? Because she hates him so much, and I feel like that's clearly what she intended. By having the dog pick him up and then using his chisel as the murder weapon. Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shields up to?
He's trying to lure Warden Rowland into testifying. Why was the supply route used to transport the body? I'd say it was to pin the crime on Dogen.
Exactly. Ah, I see.
If he committed a murder here, he would be transferred to another prison. One with tighter security.
And that would get rid of the troublemaker.
Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that. Hey, hold on a sec. The culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to prosecute. Exactly. So wouldn't it be better if the best also listened to what she has to say?
Yeah! Go ahead, trick them both.
Amazing, Mr. Shields. You managed to drag Mr. DeBest into this too. Warden Rowland, is this acceptable?
Oh, you! It's fine, it's fine. You understand a woman's heart. Thank you, mademoiselle.
I mean, she has a soft spot for him as it is, so...
Actually, I've thought this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you, Justine, darling?
Of course, you may speak. Mr. Shields, awesome!
Phew, that was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. No, I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said? A defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on our shoulders after all. It'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you'll never give up. Right.
Well then, will you listen to my story?
Okay. My story.
I believe that the culprit in this case could only have been Dogen. I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. It simply could have been that Dogen was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of the body. This is the truth of the case. The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it is a truly terrible thing. Taking a man's life, you mean? That's how you'd go about saying it, isn't it? If only I had been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets.
Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude.
Girl, there ain't no way that a murderer like Knightley ended up in heaven, but okay.
Is gratitude really what Knightley feels?
Alright, let's do some pressing. Culprit in this case could only have been Dogen.
You seem very confident of that. How can you be so sure? The children of this home are all good little boys and girls.
So there are females there?
Believe in yourself, believe in your friends, and believe in me and the guards. There is no way any of these hard-working children could have committed a murder. Quite an emotional reason. Makes sense coming from someone like her. Only Dogen would be capable of something like that.
Idea what transpired.
Knightley was being held in the detention center, and Dogen was in the prison. They couldn't make any contact. Don't you think that would have prevented trouble? The prison is quite confined, right? There were many ways for them to meet. Knightley was murdered days before he would have been sentenced to prison. Surely there weren't many ways a meeting could have occurred. Even without a direct meeting, Dogen can still cause trouble. Mark my words.
Okay. Could have been that Dogen was displeased with him.
What could Knightley have done in the detention center to displease him? That was just an example. You don't have to take it so seriously. Didn't I already say that I have no idea what transpired between them? Nevertheless, you certainly are a serious one, Edgeworth, dear. What's this? That piercing gaze. Always standing straight and stiff. Very nice. Looking very clever, my dear.
Oh, her perverted gaze is strong upon him right now.
Oh, I like how stiff you are. Oh, yes.
Okay, ma'am, stop.
I think I'm about to become your biggest fan. Move over, Wendy Oldbag.
And Oldbag just breaks through the wall into the prison. No, you can't have my edgy poo! Oh man, that would be funny.
Yeah. Why do I always attract these crazy old women?
Mr. Edgeworth, stay focused. It's just the flesh wound. You'll be okay.
Right. This is
some form of psychological warfare. They know your weakness. Okay, in any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death.
I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder.
Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I learned the victim had some kind of injury to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that.
Booking. That's the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center.
It sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley.
I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for juggling.
Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. The victim wouldn't even have had a chance to scream.
I see. Your opinion would be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony?
Oh, you're making me blush. You're so C-U-T-E. Cute.
Stop it.
I'm just kidding. I'll continue. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. Aha. So, only hit a chisel. Murder weapon. So how did she know about the chisel? There are traces of blood. Got interrupted. Let's see. He hid in his dog's mouth. Traces of blood. I'm not sure. Let me press to see what they have to say about this.
The chessboard. The thing that the victim brought with him. It seemed like he really enjoyed playing chess. How could I have guessed that that chisel would be hidden inside it?
The chisel in the chessboard. That fact is only known by a select few people. Okay, that's what I thought. This was the answer we arrived at from our reasoning, after all. So then, why does she know about this?
In Duncan's hands, even a chisel is enough to be used as a lethal weapon.
I'm sure it would have been a simple job. Perhaps use the chisel. Okay, so if she didn't know about this... Do I present the chisel, or... the prison investigation, maybe? I'm kind of confused on what I should present for this. Or maybe just the chessboard itself, because it got past security, so let me try that. Okay, I wasn't sure which one, but I think that makes sense.
Warden Rowland, you certainly are sharp-witted. Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Paddy. P-A-T-T-Y.
Stop it! This is sexual harassment.
However, there's something you were a little too knowledgeable about.
Ooh, embarrassed? You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth dear.
Ugh, stop it!
Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth!
You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard?
Oh, of course, the entrance check.
Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check. The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keyes. He didn't even have it when he arrived here.
That's, my mistake. I meant the parcel check. No.
Even if we assume that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated?
What the hell? Ma'am?
Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to this chessboard? I did not.
Uh-oh.
If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or a parcel check. Certainly. Someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by. Exactly. So answer this, Warden Roland. When and how did you learn about the chessboard's secret?
Oh shit.
In that case, I shall answer for you. It is because...
Hold it.
I give up, Edgeworth dear. It is as you say. I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about the chessboard. But please believe me, I didn't kill anyone. Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. No objections here. Thank you, Edgeworth dear. I'll do my best. Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there will be no lies from here on out.
God, she's such a furry. Seeing her kiss her animal and wearing all that fur, it's like, she's so creepy. Too much.
Her pool of lies is slowly running dry. Soon I will bring out her true nature.
All right, gosh, we're getting this is taking longer than I thought, but it's because she's dragging it out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this, and until next time, which will hopefully be the end of this case. Until next time, have a nice day. Bye.